Well, I think it is what it is. You know, I understand where the players come from. I think that you know, it's probably a good thing in terms of what these guys are asked to do. You know, it's funny, like our schedule comes out and people say, why are you playing at this time? I'm like, we don't set the times. That's all based on television tells us when we're playing. You know, and a few years ago, we go to the Final Four. I think we played 39 games, and 18 of them started at 9 p.m. or later. So, you know, these guys are asked to do a lot that a normal student isn't. Now, they're given a lot. Don't get me wrong on that. But I think from the standpoint of trying to help these guys out a little bit, I'm all for it. Well, I think that's one of the great things this summer the trip to the Bahamas did for us. I thought that was a great opportunity for our guys to get to know each other in terms of the practices, you know, the locker room time, the travel time, the time in the Bahamas, bus rides, that sort of thing. I think there was a pretty good blend. The other thing is, you know, we spend so much time with these guys now in terms of we can work with them in the summer. So you bring them in with groups, you pair seniors with freshmen, you know, just to get that understanding of who guys are and really what they're capable of doing on the court.
And what's your...
Well, I think this, you know, he's a college graduate. And so I say that from the maturity level in terms of what we need him to bring to the table. It's an odd situation when you stop and analyze it in terms of, you know, he's a senior coming in. He's only got one season to play. It's a little bit unique. We've never had that here. The good thing is Anthony's a great kid. He's a likable kid, and he wants the team to do well, and that's very evident in how he carries himself on a daily basis. But I think that, you know, Anthony is a guy that plays with great energy. He has like a sixth sense for finding the basketball, be it rebounding or cutting, whatever it is. So, you know, from that position with his length, his athleticism, we're going to need him to elevate the energy down in the paint and hopefully be able to step out a little bit for us. I don't know that yet. I think I could see this team potentially being like some of the best teams we've had here in terms of scoring. You know, I go back to 07 where we had Greg at 14, Daquan at 12, Jamar at 11, Michael at 11, Ivan at 9, Daquan at 10, you know, just all the way across the board we had. Now, each night there was somebody that played, scored the ball exceptionally well. I think that could be the case with this team. I don't know yet, but I know we're going to need guys to, you know, finish plays and put the ball in the basket for us this year. It is what it is. And, you know, going into my 11th season now, the one thing I've learned about being in the Big Ten is there's no game on your conference schedule that you look at and say, I know we're going to win this game. But I think that brings out the best in coaching. I think it brings out the best in your players. And as I always tell our guys, you knew this when you signed up for it, that you know, you have to come to play every night. And you know, I think my biggest thing is so much is lost in college basketball now in terms of the conference matchups, because everybody's talking about March, and it drives me literally insane when I hear people say like they're on the bubble in January, and it's like you're losing focus on some of the greatest basketball that's going to be played throughout January, February, and early March. I mean, those games, I don't think they get the true appreciation of how hard those games are and how competitive those games are, because everybody's thinking about the next thing. And I know as a coach and a player, you're not thinking down the road on that. You're thinking task at hand.